What is up guys, Morton here from SteamFirst.com with a review for Vertical Drop Heroes HD, an action RPG platformer developed by Nerduke and is currently greenlit on Steam. As I said, Vertical Drop Heroes HD isn't officially released on Steam yet, but it has been greenlit, so it'll be released relatively soon. This game is an updated version of the Flash game Vertical Drop Heroes, and it does a very good job. So what exactly is this game? Well, it's a whole lot of randomness mixed together into a really fun and enjoyable experience. You start the game and 3 random characters will be generated, and you can pick one of those 3 to play. Then when you die, 3 more characters will be generated and you start over at level 1 again. Each character has different health, damage, and special skills. The skills can be something like the ability to double jump or the ability to make clones. Each character has 2 of these skills chosen at random from a very large selection of different abilities. As I said, when you die you have to start over, but the game is also randomly generated. So even if you have to restart 100 times, you'll continue to getting different layouts for each stage, so it doesn't really get repetitive. You can find gold coins on the stages that last even after you die, and they can be used to purchase new abilities or to give your characters flat damage or health increases. Most of the things you buy with gold generally will last forever, so something like all characters gain +1 damage means that every new character you play will also have 1 more damage than it would have had. This is interesting because it means you'll never get stuck anywhere in the game. You might have to play through levels 1 and 2 10 times each, but then you'll have bought enough upgrades to make it through stage 3. In that sense it's kinda grindy, but because everything is randomly generated each time, it's really not that bad. As for the gameplay itself, you start at the top of each level and have to drop towards the bottom and then defeat a boss to move on to the next level. There's a fairly large number of enemies on each level, along with coins and keys to pick up, treasure chests to unlock, and friendly NPCs to save. This makes for some interesting decision making, because you can either use the keys to open chests and collect coins, or you can use the keys to rescue NPCs and they will help you fight off the enemies. Most of the enemies aren't that bad, especially if you've bought a lot of the upgrades, but it is possible to get overwhelmed still if you aren't careful. Along with single player, there's also co-op, both split screen and online, and it works pretty well. Something I thought was odd though is that there aren't any more enemies, nor are the enemies any harder. This basically makes co-op very easy since there are 2 of you but the enemies are the same as if you were alone. That's good though because it allows you to play with anyone, even if they aren't good at games, and still have a good time. Another thing was the split screen co-op was kind of weird with the keyboard because there isn't very much room to assign keys for both players. I suspect that you're supposed to use controllers for that, but it does work nonetheless. Overall, I think the co-op adds quite a bit to the game. Gameplay gets a 5 out of 5, there's honestly nothing for me to complain about. It requires a fair amount of decision making as to when to use your abilities since you can only use them a limited number of times on each level, and it requires strategy as to when to fight enemies so you don't get completely overwhelmed. It's just a lot of fun. The gameplay isn't the only great thing about this game though. Both the visuals and the audio of the game are awesome, the character design is really nice, and the enemies are all good looking. It's very colorful and everything is easily distinguishable. The soundtrack was really good too. There's no voice acting or anything like that, but attacks and abilities have good sound effects, and the music is great. Both the audio and visuals fit the game nicely, and both get a 4.5 out of 5. While neither is absolutely amazing, they're both really good, and there's not much to complain about. As for replayability, if you couldn't tell by the fact that everything is randomly generated, there's plenty of reasons to play this game repeatedly. But it's not just the randomness that gives replay value. There's also a New Game Plus mode, so even after you beat the whole game once, which will probably take quite a while, you can play through again and the difficulty will continue to increase. Also, you can unlock the stages once you get to them, so you don't need to play the first level every single time. Once your starting character has been upgraded enough, you can just skip it, which is nice because it stops things from getting repetitive. There's also things you can unlock by buying all the upgrades and such, so there's plenty of reasons to keep playing to unlock everything. Replayability gets a 4.5 out of 5. There's a lot you can do, especially with the New Game Plus, and since everything is random, you won't get bored easily. Overall, Vertical Drop Heroes HD is a very fun RPG platformer. There's a ton to like about this game. The strategy involved is fun, the replayability, all the visuals and audio, and there's really just nothing to complain about. It can feel a little button mashy at times when there's a lot of enemies around, but you can turn on auto attack so you don't need to actually press an attack button, which cuts out a lot of the mashing. Vertical Drop Heroes HD gets a 4.5 out of 5. It does everything that a remake should do. It improves on the game and updates it without completely changing it. The only thing that this game doesn't have is a story, and I usually really enjoy stories in games, but honestly, don't let the lack of a story stop you from playing this. If you ever played the Vertical Drop Heroes Flash game and enjoyed it, you'll most certainly enjoy this too. And if you never played it, you should check it out.